Okay, Isis, I see you. We finna go live. What you finna find? I'm just waiting to push the button.
I can't not do Black Lives Matter, and y'all got Black Lives Matter. Give me like 2 seconds. We got 4 minutes. I mean, like, dang. Of course, my internet would be slow.
What's the easiest way for me to send it to you?
Email. So I can just download it in. What you got?
I downloaded like 5 different Black Lives Matter things.
Okay. Just
No.
email it to me.
Well, hell. I lied, my email is frozen.
Hi, I'm
That's
I'm
crazy.
back to.
Huh?
I said, give me 1 second. I'm back to
You want me to start the song?
Yeah. I'm sending it to myself now. I'm cropping it.
Okay.
So you know it ain't gonna take that long for me to keep it up.
Hey, y'all so much fun. Thank y'all. Y'all understand? I was so nervous before I came here. Y'all was so much fun. This next piece we're gonna do is called "Say My Name." It is a tribute to Sandra Bland. And make some noise for Chelsea Green, Monique Brooks Roberts, Kevin Jones, Montella. That was so much fun. This next piece we're gonna do is called "Say My Name." It is a tribute to Sandra Bland.
Almost there.
And her story means so much because it could have been me, or could have been my sister, my mom, or one of my loved ones. So I'm gonna invite singers up. We're gonna, traditions in the 50s and 60s, you see doo-wop circles, right? And they pour out a little liquor for someone who passed on. And so this is our doo-wop circle right here. Come on, Rachel, you can leave.
I'm ready.
We're back in the boogie when Cash used to harmonize like this. If I should die tomorrow at the hands of the policeman, and the paper say, hey, we're gonna call it a suicide, would you even question why? you shake your head, say this ain't right, or do your best to forget about me. Please, please, please don't forget about me. Oh.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi, coworkers.
Hey, coworkers.
Hey, coworker.
Hi, coworkers. Crystal. Give a couple more coworkers time to come in.
Okay.
Now, come on in.
Get my seat ready in the break room.
Right.
Me get comfortable in the break room.
We got to start bringing snacks to the break room.
We're gonna eat in the
In the break, I was just thinking, I was like, y'all don't have y'all stuff for the break room.
I did not. Oh, I got my water.
Yeah, my smoothie. Got that good nutrient.
The colors.
The
Okay,
DS.
I see you. I see you.
Right.
Okay.
Come through. 9 pearls.
All right.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get tonight's show started. Welcome to Business and Bullshit, where it's 3 women,
3 perspectives.
One podcast.
Yes.
Yes.
Before we get started, I definitely think that we need to take a moment of silence for our most recent ancestor, Ahmaud Arbery, and all those that have fallen before him. So.
Okay.
All right. So, church announcements. We have anyone with church announcements? I've got some. Anybody? Anybody else? Oh, yes. Come on. All right. While Amber gets ready, I want to quickly shout out. This is Teacher Appreciation Week. So shout out to all educators right now. Thank you so much. You all have done a 180 since quarantine, and our babies are distance learning. So shout out to all teachers right now. Hopefully you are being showered on, Cash App, and also it's National Nurses Week as well. So definitely show some love to our nurses who are on the front line at this time. So make sure you show them some love, hit their Cash App. Let the nurses in your lives know that you appreciate them. Thank you.
Great.
I would like to shout out mothers. Happy Mother's Day to
Yes.
Isis and Amber, our mamas, and the co-worker mamas. We
Yes.
were to have a segment with our moms on.
They're not ready.
But after we remembered who our mamas were, we decided not to do that.
They're not ready. The world ain't ready.
The world ain't ready.
Yeah, the world ain't ready to see where the 3 women and 3 perspectives came from.
Very true.
They're not ready.
They're not ready.
Yes. So, and I don't. The only church announcement I have is just this one right here. I'm rooting for everybody black.
Where you get the shirt? Where you get it?
My sister bought it for me as a Christmas gift. We have this thing that we call the Woke Black Girl Starter Kit, and it's a part of our Christmas present every year. You have to put one gift in the thing that you feel you would find in the Woke Black Girl Starter Kit, and this was it.
I like that. I like that though.
Your family, because that sounds like fun.
Yes, I
really
need that
fun.
in my life.
So today's show is Rhythm and Blues, cultural appropriation. The title came, I think it's a general statement, but we were dialoguing, and Amber said, "Everybody wants our rhythm, but nobody wants our blues."
Okay.
So, ladies, what is your definition of cultural appropriation?
You know what? To me, appropriation is the taking on or utilizing someone else's culture, something from their culture, without first acknowledgement and recognition. I mean, we share things, so I'm fine with sharing, you know what I mean? Like, man, you name it. But at least to me, you show homage, you pay homage, you show from where it came, and you don't just make it your own. That to me is when you have appropriated. I mean, everything from making who I am a costume to, my speech, the way I wear my hair, all that, without first acknowledging. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like calling the Bo Derek braids. Bo Derek, the yeah,
yeah.
right. Mm-hmm.
Isis?
Cultural appropriation, when you can have two people do the exact same thing, but on this person, it's defined a little different. And on this person, let's say this person is given negative commentary on it, but this person is praised for it. To you, it's just something you feel like you can make fun of it. It's a costume, it's it's lip fillers and it's tanning. And what I mean by that is you've got let me see, what was it, a couple of months ago you had the hair bonnet things come out, and it was considered like, oh, this is cool, this is elegant, but in another culture it would be considered, ratchet or ghetto.
I know another culture. Say black. In black
Black.
culture.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah.
She using real nice color. She was like, it was when somebody when the white majority.
When the majority does it,
no,
it's
not
okay.
just the majority. When the white majority
does it, it's okay. But when we do it, it's ratchet, it's ghetto. But you put it on the runway of Paris, and it's cool. So it's when you take what I've been doing all along, but you can get praised for it.
Man.
So my definition is anything that the white majority puts on as if it's a glove, and they utilize it for economic gain, to make themselves feel special. So for emotional or mental reasons, and they take it off when it's no longer convenient for them.
I was thinking when she was talking, it's the fact that you can take it off. That is when that's specifically to me when it's appropriation, when it doesn't suit you and you're able to change. Because like our big lips are now in style, but they haven't always been, right? Like tomorrow, if our nose or our lips are not in style anymore, we have to keep them, but you can just stop getting lip fillers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what are 3 things associated with being Black or a Black woman that you consider our rhythm, and what are 3 things that you consider our blues?
Oh, that's a good question. All right. Oh man, our rhythm. I'll say the way that we nurture. There's something special with the way that Black women nurture, just not each other, but the way that we embrace others, kind of take people in as our own. I don't know about y'all, but it's something about a elderly Black woman calling you baby, and just how your day going, baby? You just feel all loved, and you be like, I'm okay. I'll say our style. We've had to be creative over the years because we've had to, while other people were calling us ugly and, presenting caricatures of Jezebel, Mammy, Sapphire, we had to turn it into positives. So I'll say the way that, style, and then I'll say the way that we flip things. We'll take a negative and make it into a positive. So I say that's our rhythm. Those are my 3.
I would say we have a coworker that said America is a cultural appropriation, and I am here for that. Facts.
Yes, coworker. Yes.
I think that our rhythm is actually our rhythm. And I don't mean that in the sense that like all Black women can dance. I mean the way we get information rhythm. I mean, like if it were 5 random Black women you don't know, and you just start like doing this at the grocery store, I swear to God, the mother 4 would jump in. Like it is that rhythm, that connectivity to me is one. I think the other part of our rhythm is our strength. I think our strength is a part of our rhythm. It comes from places sometimes that I feel like you don't even know, like what, like, you know, whether you want to ascribe it to Black girl magic, the power of the ancestors, just, you know what I'm saying, like something bigger, whatever. I definitely think our strength, but I also think that same strength is a part of our blues. I don't think that you can have one without the other. And I think a part of our rhythm is Black girl magic. It's that creativity. It's the fact that when we're told no 17 times, you ain't that 18th time, I'm doing something completely different. You're not even gonna know it was me. You're gonna like it. You're gonna have a whole new perspective on it. You like that, oh man, and now you mad because you ain't know. Like I think that that's a part of who we are. The innovative and creative, you know, all that is part of our rhythm.
So for me, I think the 3 things that are part of our rhythm, I'm going to put these 2 together, our creativity and our minds. The things and everything, from whether it be from arts and science and any and everything in between, when I feel like when we do something, when we take music or when we take science, it's like God breathed on it. You know what I'm saying? It's like magical. And I know we sometimes overuse that word, but magic is, and spirituality is sometimes, not all the time, things that science can't define.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely agree.
And so I think our rhythm is our minds and our creativity, to our diversity amongst ourselves. You know, I think we are some very beautiful people. And regardless of what people say, no 2 of us, unless we're twins, no 2 of us are alike. We have different hues, we have different looks, we have different hips. Our men, their arms, their smiles, etc. I think another part of our rhythm is our resiliency. You know, Amber spoke of strength, the fact that we have made a way, we will continue to make a way in adversity, and that also feeds to our creativity.
I mean, you know, a lot of times, like in church, you hear about that story where Jesus took the 2 fish and the 5 barley loaves of bread. Mm-hmm. That was last week at Big Mama house somewhere. Like she done fed 5,000 just the same way with them same 2 fish. Like,
right. Y'all ever notice how all the kids go to grandma's house in the summertime and somehow, some way, everybody got a plate? You don't know how.
Everybody got a plate. Got no money. That's it.
Everybody got. You like. Mm-hmm. Okay, grandma. I don't ask no question. Everybody got bacon. We good.
So what are 3 things that's considered our blues? Amber kind of spoke of it on it, but I don't think we really covered it.
Okay. I think our strength is one of our blues. I think one of our blues is, I feel like one of our blues has to do with the want to save everything and everybody. I think the same thing that can often make us unique, like that same, like the way you were talking about that Big Mama's touch, you know what I'm saying? That drive that we have to want better for most people around us, for, you know what I'm saying, for the all, to me is the same. Those are the blues, because when those things don't happen, or when those things aren't happening, or you're too tired to even speak about those things that are happening, you know, like for me, it feels like a burden, or like I'm not doing all I can when I've given all I can sometimes. So
I would say a part of our blues is always having to be on. A lot of us don't know how to turn off. And with that comes another part of our blues, which is being guarded. We can be very guarded. It's hard for us to be carefree because we're also always on because of the stereotypes and the perceptions of Black women. I can't think of another one. Those are my main two, is constantly having to be on. We don't know how to turn that off. We don't know how to click on that off switch, and which feeds into other things. But I would say that's a huge part of our blues.
I think part of our blues, which is also one of our rhythm, is our skin.
Say it again.
Our skin.
Okay.
And it's, for some reason, it's weaponized.
Man.
It's sexualized just for being Black. And I was going through the comments from different people who posted about mine, and someone said, skin is like a book. You never know what a person's like until you get to know what they're like inside. I thought that was cute, but not realistic. And how the fact that literally you're jogging down the street, you're walking down the street, you're going to get Skittles and tea, you don't want to put your cigarette out, and you're murdered because of that. Something that is beautiful and artistic is weaponized. So I think that our essence, I think that goes back to skin, but just because of who we descend from, our lineage, slaves were chosen because they were Black. Slaves were chosen because they came from Africa. So just because something happens directly in, because everybody didn't come over here as slaves, but just because something happened centuries ago, we're still paying the burden, the price for that.
Absolutely. I don't know if y'all watched the show Mixed Dish, but the season finale, and spoilers for anybody that watches it, I'm about to give it away. When Dree just said that about skin, Rainbow had to fill out a form, and it didn't have mixed on it. And so the girls, sitting next to her were like, you just mark Black because you're Black, even though you're, dad's white, mom's Black, you Black. And she struggled with that. And so what happened is she goes to the mall, she's trying on this outfit, the security guard comes in, and he grabs her and her friends, and she's like, what just happened? And her friends are like, we told you you was Black. And and she sat with that, and she was like, wow, now she's having to live in this new reality of, my parents are two races, but in this world, this is how people see me. And so I thought of that when Dree just said that it is weaponized because she Black girl.
I guess, well, our coworker said, Isis, you are correct. Having to be on all the time is exhausting. For me, it's not just having to be on, but it's having to be on guard and alert. And I mean that like as a Black mother, you know what I'm saying? Like I have 2 Black sons. Both of my sons are one that's going to be 17 this weekend, and my 14-year-old stands almost 6 foot now. And so not just as a Black woman, because I feel like we're used to pressure, right? Like we're used to, you know what I'm saying? Like dealing with certain things, but it's completely different for me knowing that the world looks at my baby boy the way they do, and that there's nothing that I can do to protect him. To me, that's a part of that rhythm and blues. Like it is the joy in raising a Black male. And getting the look in the eyes of your baby boy. And it is the blues of knowing that he has a whole life as a Black male ahead of him and may not even have a Black queen that understands, you know what I'm saying? Like the support that is necessary for both those people. So.
Oh, absolutely. Black motherhood is definitely that, trying to balance that rhythm and blues, because you're learning motherhood. And one of the things I had to sit with recently is when this news came out about this young man that was jogging and minding his business, and now he's gone. There's that blues in Black motherhood of, I've spent more time teaching my Black child what he's not to do more than what he can do. I don't know how to teach my Black boy how to be carefree because he's getting bigger, he's getting older, and life or death is real. And so that's definitely a part of my blues as he's getting older, is like you said, your son is standing this many feet tall. People are not going to see him as a teen, most people are not going to see him as a teenager. My child, you already know. And so that's definitely a part of that blues. Like, I want him to be carefree, but at the same time, I know the society that I'm having to raise him in. And it's heartbreaking.
And I think part of always having to be on is being not just being on, but being on and great and magical and excellent and all this other stuff. One of the concerns I have with Black motherhood, I have everybody else's kids, I haven't birthed any yet, is that I have girls. And I'm wondering, and I hope not, I just think about, rightfully so, not taking anything away from our men, but what if something happens to either one of them, and because they're a woman, their voice, their name isn't on the next,
right?
Isn't even a hashtag, a knowledge star.
Like the girls that were missing. Was that DC?
Yeah.
Right. And so having the same conversations, because you have your Sandra Bland, and one of my babies is Sassy, I don't know, Lord, what Muhammad and the ancestors. Sassy is I don't know what. The other one is kind of quiet, but we had I can't remember her name. I want to say it was Artiana. Mm-hmm. She was in her own home and was shot through the window.
Jefferson, was it last name? Yeah.
And so I just think about, the boys in my life, the men in my life, they're grown and they can go to work and come home. Just everybody, gender, not specific. I do feel as though our men are being targeted, and then I think about other things that happen with women that aren't nationally talked about. So I think it's just a lot. It's gender specific and gender neutral that goes along with our rhythm and our blues. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next question. How do you respond, or how do you feel when people try to discredit our experiences when we call out cultural appropriation?
Amber, take it first.
So it is, how I respond first is going to depend on the situation. Because I am going to first always try to do it with a learning or educating type, spirit, because there's room for growth here, but if I am continually invalidated and my experience ignored, and I have receipts here that braids did not happen when Bo Derek started wearing them, that Kylie Jenner lips have been on, Halle Berry's face, or what I'm saying, like long before that, like then it's an anger. And I think that's the part when I'm ready to not only just educate, but I'm ready to claim all that angry Black woman that, that I get called, because it's mine and I have every right to be angry and I have every right to be mad. And like, it's often said, I feel like there should be oftentimes where people just accept that we're asking for equality and not revenge.
Can you repeat the question, Dree?
How do you feel, or how do you respond to people who try to discredit our experience when we call out cultural appropriation?
There's anger at first, because what you're telling me, when you brush it off, you're telling me that, it doesn't matter. It's, it's not really a big deal. That's not going to sit well with me. And my feelings are valid and I'm going to sit with them.
And you
right, because what you're not going to do, is number one, invalidate the feelings, because when, as Black women, when we've had to deal with colorism and all these other things, we've been called ugly when I've got elders in my family who were called ugly because of their big lips. We've had to deal with good hair, bad hair. We've had to deal with all these different things and self-esteem, growing up. And all of a sudden you have certain people who get on TV and now big butts are okay. And now big lips and, all of these different things. You on the runways in Paris with Poetic Justice, with Dookie braids and all these things that we've been doing. But now it's okay because the white majority says, "Oh, this is beautiful. This is great." No, it's not okay. It's not okay that you do blackface for Halloween and then think it's nothing. Like, do you not know the historical receipts to this? It's not okay when there are historical receipts that state time and time again that harm has been done, and you just brush it off like it's nothing. It's not okay. No.
I don't think that they're saying that it's beautiful. See, to me, they're saying it's beautiful, just not on you.
Yeah.
Now, and that's different because it's not that it's not beautiful, right? And that's the part that causes the anger for me.
And I found a way to monetize it.
And I can
monetize it.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I don't know. Like, I think it depends on how I'm feeling in that moment, because I responded to a Sam's barbecue post and it landed me the opportunity to write for the State magazine. But so I don't know, like, it depends. I think number one, it depends on how I'm feeling in the moment. 2, who is talking, and 3, what they're saying. I think I've grown to I'm trying to articulate this the best way I can because I'm getting annoyed just thinking about some past posts that I have commented on. So that's what's taking me a while to answer this question. So I think so. It depends on those 3 things, and I think that, do I try to come across as an educational? Probably not. It's probably a read. That's probably where I'm at, because I'm of this mindset. I had to look at the social justice warriors in my family, the civil rights activists in my family. I have to look at the experiences of the people in my family. We don't have time for the bullshit to sugarcoat and be nice or whatever. So I don't try to troll people, but I'm direct as possible, because that, first of all, direct is my personality, but 2, you didn't get up here and you typed out this 250 to 500 word post to invalidate shit that has happened in my family and happening to people all around us. Like, people have been raped because of how they look, men and women. People have been lynched because of how they looked, how they spoke, them trying to get away from other people because lynch mobs were coming after them. So what we're experiencing in 2020 is not new under the sun. It's been going on. So I feel, I don't want to say rage, but it's like, this bullshit.
I feel like we talking even today, right, about rhythm and blues, and we said, that it came up because they want our rhythm, but they don't want our blues. And today, with our most recent fallen ancestor and all the posts about, Ahmaud Arbery, I feel like today we can't even have our blues. If I see one more post where it is someone expressing, maybe some hurt, or that, Black people have been through this and that. And then there was this post said, yes, and Jews have experienced, and I was like, Amber, don't do it. Amber, don't do it. First of all, they got reparations and land, okay? Now, I can't even get you to acknowledge my experience. I mean, like, I can't even get that. But and not that reparations or just giving someone money makes it okay. You know what I'm saying? Reparations in itself, the word means to repair. So what it means, at the very least, is that the government made a conscious and deliberate effort to try to repair, what was done to this group. But yet this group, my group, we're still being invalidated as far as the experience and the effects of that. So that's what, some anger. It pisses me off.
Absolutely.
That goes into my next question. How do you feel when non-people of color and I say, or heck, non-blacks at this point, because who try to insert themselves into our grief.
Oh, it's not okay. I'm going to be honest. It is not okay. If I say Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. If I say Black women, I do not mean women of color. I said Black women.
Say what I said.
I
said what I said. And so when you insert yourself, what you're really telling me is, I mean, I'm just in plain English, as my granddaddy would say, you're telling me, oh, you don't matter. Or what you're telling me is your experience is not valid until someone else validates it. And that is not okay. If I set up a post and say, and I'm talking specifically about Black boys and violence, that's what I'm talking about. And you know, what's my girl from Waterboy? It's gonna be what it's gonna be. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. So it's not okay, you know, because I know that a lot's been coming up as far as, you know, coronavirus and, you know, the violence that's been coming up against Asian Americans. And, you know, I've seen posts kind of float around where it's, you know, do Black people speak up, you know, about what's happening? Do we stay in our lane? My thing is this. As Black women, we've been trying to save everybody. If you want to speak up, do it. But you don't have to insert yourself in everything. Is how I'm going to put that. Because we have to fight every day. So I'm not okay when non-blacks insert themselves. I'm not okay.
I would say that I am for truth, no matter who tells it. And I am for justice, no matter who it is for or against. So while I am able to acknowledge the pain and the experience of others and hear other people's truth, inserting yourself in mine, right? Because it makes you uncomfortable. And I think the thing is, when I see like this laundry list, like if I post something about, you know, my Black sons and, you know, kind of like you're saying, and then you feel or someone from the majority feels the need to give me their laundry list of the good deeds they've done in my community, like that's angering for me. That's frustrating for me. Or you know, again, you can't claim all lives matter until Black lives matter. And if you're not willing to fight for them all, then you're not fighting for all lives. So when it comes to even the speaking up of maybe the oppression or the current climate, like when the corona hit and there were, you know, Asian Americans being attacked, I can speak up in truth and say this is wrong. I can also not go to the rally that's held for tomorrow because I got 5 rallies next week. I got a hold for Black women, Black men, gay Black men, straight Black men. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
Black women entrepreneurs. I got 5 rallies next week. I'm sorry. I've showed up to every other rally for the past 100 years, and it still has me at the bottom of the pay wage gap. It still has me, you know what I'm saying, like having to say her name like Sandra Bland. So I'm a little busy with my own.
But you said a key word. You said uncomfortable. And that's it. You insert yourself because it makes you uncomfortable. Because
it makes you uncomfortable.
History has receipts, so you're gonna have to learn how to sit and be uncomfortable.
Facts.
Amber stole my answer, but my whole thing is why can't they get somewhere and stay down? You know what I'm saying? Thoughts down, as Amber says. Like why? How? And how? Like how is this about you? Like you don't get up every day with this experience, right? There are a lot of things with Black men that I can't even touch. You know what I'm saying? So I try to allow them to have their space to think, feel, whatever they need to. But you can't relate to me. You know what I'm saying? Before I cut my hair, you know, I had locks. So there were times I don't believe I've ever been discriminated against because I had locks. But hell, there's times I wondered that because I decided to wear my hair in its natural state with a tinge bit of color. Did someone not hire me, or did someone not give me an opportunity? So when here, you know, in the grand scheme of things, again, someone's life is not that big of a deal, but grief is to me all encompassing. You know, from constantly being told something negative about Black women. You know, this is why you're single. Y'all not getting married. Y'all got kids out of, you know, whatever that spin is constantly on cycle. Talking about my men who I love, you know, Black men this, Black men that, insert whatever, killing us, you know, and it's like we can't even mourn something without you coming in and taking the spotlight from even that.
We can't even have death. We can't live and not even allow death.
You can't have death either. No, ma'am.
And I think it's kind of like through what you were saying about your locks. There was I was watching something, and this guy was saying, yes, there's discrimination. He said once someone asked him, you know, how many times he had been discriminated against for being Black or, you know what I'm saying, for things like that. And he said, I don't know. I'm not in the room when it happens. And I think that hit me because I was like, and that's facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing to have overt discrimination or, you know what I'm saying, like something like that. But I'm not in the room when the actual, you know, discrimination and racism is happening. So I can't name how many times. We have no idea how many times, you know what I mean, it's happened to us.
Right. I remember when I was growing my locks out and my grandmother was like, what's them twigs on your head? You gonna be able to get a job? And at first I was a little hurt, but if you know my grandmother, she's very direct. Like, you can't have no feelings around her. Love you, grandma. But it also was like, well, dang, I didn't think about that. You know, I'm going on a hair journey. I'm happy. I'm loving my locks. And you gonna be able to get a job with them? Why are you growing those? And I'm just like, I can't even grow hair without having to be on and guarded. Like, and that's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother show. But yeah,
about our hair.
About our hair. Dree brought up a great point though. Like, dang, and not being in the room when it happens. Like, it's real. It's real out here.
So my next question is, do Black women appropriate Black gay male culture, or do we feed off of each other?
That's a real good question, Dree.
I know.
That's a real good question.
I think art imitates life. Black women are life, and thus all things there forwards are an imitation of us. Done.
I would say I struggle with that question because okay, so I watched Paris is Burning, and then just conversations that I've had with Black gay male friends, you know, and just continuing to learn about historically about Black gay male culture. And so learning that words like shade and boy and all these different things, you know, there are just some things that originated there and carried over. So maybe I feel like we maybe feed off of each other. And that's where I am with that answer right now. I have more to learn.
If I may add, just a little, like, I'm Black. I'm a Black woman, right? To me, that's a Black gay male. The word at the beginning of that, of both of them, to me, is Black. So it's Black culture. And I mean, like, Black men, Black women, gay Black men, like, we may do it a little differently, but it's still Black culture. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't say that it's a us mimicking or imitation of them. Like, if we wasn't rolling our necks and snapping our hands first, then you wouldn't even have neck rolling and hand snapping to, you know, throw shade with.
I'm still learning. Do our coworkers have any comment?
Our coworker, Chris, once she said, preach, yes, preach. And then, and our other coworker, Chelsea, said they are inspired by us. I think them, Tyler Perry, apparently everybody's inspired by us.
I may put that on my Facebook page tonight.
I know.
Question or
the question. I really want to know, like, what people like that.
I don't think it's a right or wrong answer with that.
Right.
I would say I like Amber's response about we're both Black. It's part of our culture. And I think that kind of goes with we feed off of each other, right? I think that it's like gumbo. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
You know, Isis may start with some ingredients. Amber might add some more. I might add some more. And at the end of the day, we got some fire-ass gumbo.
if you ain't put chicken in it. I don't like chicken in my gumbo. I like seafood gumbo, but that's fine. I'm saying. Our coworker said, our coworker Crystal said, I believe we eat at the same table more so than feeding off each other. And I'm with it. Like, it's, to me, it's that black solidarity, even, you know, regardless of who's doing it.
Okay. So this is the last question before our bullshit moment.
All right.
So the last question, and I saw this on a friend's page, and I liked how he worded it because I had a similar question, but his was better. I said, asking you, why does the world love Black culture while simultaneously hating Black people?
First of all, the truth is Black culture is bomb. Let's just first acknowledge that. Like, let's first acknowledge how bomb Black culture is. 2, if you loved Black people as much as you love Black culture, you'd have to acknowledge the wrong that has been done. You would have to me, that would require the correct ascription or the amount of reverence that is due of people that have overcome when you have taken everything. When you've taken pay, when you have a war on drugs, a war on poverty, when you've had a war specifically on whether you can own me, when you have had the welfare queen, when you have built in every single system you can think of, whether in the economy, in the world, whether it's healthcare, social justice, education, when you have built every single system to make sure I don't succeed. And yet not only can I succeed, but I can still come out with a whole language with fleek and shade, and I can still do it with Black girl magic. You would have to then pay me the homage and the respect that I'm due. So it's easier for you to love Black culture, but not Black people.
Still I rise.
Boom, boom, there it is.
Boom.
Yeah, there it is.
So before we go on, I'm sorry, did you have? Go ahead.
I mean, she just pretty much preached it right there. You have to acknowledge you're wrong. So what Amber said, I completely agree.
So before we play the game, I want to read something that Crystal CC Mercer, my friend who's also on here, wrote on her social media.
Before you do that, let me read what the coworker said.
Go ahead.
And as you repeated, Paul Mooney said it best. Y'all already know. Everybody want to be a nigga, but don't nobody want to be a nigga.
There you go. There it is.
Was that it from the coworkers? I don't want to.
Yes.
Sorry. Pull Crystal back. Okay, so release your privilege, speak up. If you can't release the comfort of your privilege to speak truth to power, you're not an ally. I'm sick of hashtagging, crying, yelling, defending, and explaining why I deserve to exist. Allies, talk to your people and give me some grace and some space. Everybody else, stop killing us. Peace, CC.
That's real.
So I think that kind of encompasses everything most of the things we talked about in our conversation for tonight. So as we move on to the exclamation part of the show, I am going to list a holiday, and you tell me what it would look like if Black people appropriated the holiday.
Let me get comfortable.
Yes. Let's go.
Ready.
Let's go.
Let's start with Thanksgiving. What would a Black Thanksgiving look like?
First of all, see, right now on Thanksgiving, the governor has to give you Friday. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get Thursday, and then every year the governor has to declare it. First of all, Black people would have turned that into like at least a 4-day celebration. Okay. Off top, it would have been minimum 4 days. You know, like, you know, you have something different on Kwanzaa each day. That's what a Thanksgiving with us would have looked like. And most importantly, if we appropriated Thanksgiving, it would still be, you would still, if you will, be able to see the multicultural effect that it was meant for from jump. we would not have squeezed out the Native Americans, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like on the first day, there would have been, I don't know, the hookah and I feel like we would have bought the herbs with us or something, you know what I'm saying? Like that same peace pipe, maybe that's the day, but that would still be incorporated, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then the second day, you know what I'm saying? It'd have been a buffet, but the foods that you cook, you know what I'm saying? You'd have had like ham hocks, and then I don't really know what those Native American dishes are, but they'd have all been on the table in a buffet style. And so 100, 200 years later, it wouldn't have just been pictures of, Black people in African garb sitting around a turkey. We would have kept it as multicultural as possible. And yeah, that's if we had it. And again, 4 days, we wouldn't need the governor.
What Amber said, the 4 days, and then Big Mama would have took so-and-so's recipe and been like, baby, you mind if I can I play with what you got? Because I just want to put a little more sugar. Let me play with this for a minute. Big Mama would have took that dish and been like, okay, now y'all taste it, and we would have had something completely, some other recipes, like, from what was on the table originally. We would have took it and been like, let me because we would have brought all that stuff from the motherland, the yams and the black-eyed peas and the okras. Hey, I got some stuff, let's mix this together and we're gonna make it work like we always do. So I'm yes, it would have been a festival because that's what we do, because we're gonna have family. We got to get everybody over, like we gonna party. And hey, y'all look like us, so hey, what's going on? We're gonna find out if we related. That's another thing.
Somebody's gonna be related.
We're gonna find out if we related. The kids gonna be at the kids table. And then it's gonna be somebody gonna invent a game. It's gonna be some dominoes. We're gonna make up something because we're gonna have some fun. And I think it would have been fun. And still to this day, yes.
Our coworker said it would have been a barbecue at Granny's house, and it would have been a week off. I'm telling you, we ain't been doing a one-day holiday. I just feel like, I mean, even when we come to celebrations, like we have Black History Week, but what is it now?
Month.
Black History. We don't do one-day stuff. They got Christmas. We got Kwanzaa. Like, we don't do one day.
Those pots is like bluish black with the little specks on it.
The roaster.
Can you imagine everybody's Big Mama getting off the boat with one of them?
Yes, absolutely.
Like that.
Baby, get that for me. I got stuff
in my area. Can you just imagine that happening off it wouldn't be called a Mayflower. I don't know what it'd be called, but whatever that ship name would be. I think that at this point in time, I think, like you said, we would have. I don't necessarily know if we would have blended culture. Like it would have been separate. Like we still have Native garb as well, our indigenous garb and African garb. Because I think what would have happened is we've been doing it for so long that somebody's Uncle Roscoe and somebody's Uncle Junior are gonna argue about who started what first, what came over here first, and which group ball. And it's gonna be like, do we really? First of all, doesn't matter at this point. Two, do we even know? But the drunk portion of the holiday, when everybody started drinking and acting ignorant, that's what the argument would be. Is who brought, was the corn already here?
I feel like we'd have had fried foods much earlier.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
Okay, so the next holiday, St. Patrick's Day.
Ooh, child. Ooh. First of all, ooh, ain't gonna be just, Lord Jesus.
It wouldn't be no shamrock.
Well,
it'd be a whole different leaf. A whole different leaf.
It'll be something totally different.
That's it.
Second of all, we're gonna have, we're gonna do the parade, but we're gonna walk, we're gonna electric slide, we're gonna have some dances. I don't know if we're gonna wear green. We might have like some other colors, some kente cloth. Let me see, maybe some kente cloth. I don't know. It ain't gonna be no shamrock though, like she said. It's gonna look a little different.
I just think it wouldn't be a need for 420 because we have St. Patrick's Day. Like we would literally, all of the green things that we do and celebrate on 420 would be St. Patrick's Day. And in fact, we'd have called it something. It wouldn't be like that no more.
So St. Patrick's Day originated from white people murdering petite African people. So I think that whole story would have went a whole different way anyway. Like I think we would have won.
Yeah, I didn't know the origins.
And whatever tribe they tried to attack, that's what the holiday would be named. And I think we would probably do some real disrespectful things against the Irish on that day. Like it would be, you know how we talk about other races in private, not on public forum. I think that'll be done publicly. Like
we're gonna play Who You With, and we're gonna play Who
I'm
You
here
With.
for it.
We're gonna march through the streets. That's what we. That's what we
our
have.
parades and how the parades will be organized is, you know, we have about 85 line dancing songs.
Boom.
So it'll just be a long ass parade with line dancing, wobble, Cupid shuffle, electric slide, all of that.
Please don't dismiss the good puff of smoke that comes from this line dancing parade. Like if you're not trying to get down with the St. Patrick's Day herb, you should probably not attend this parade because it's gonna be there.
What do you think? We got all these holidays that I don't celebrate no more, so I'm trying to think of another holiday. St. Patrick's Day. Side Piece Day. If we appropriated St. Valentine's Day.
Okay, I was like, wait.
I don't think it'd be no presents because these dudes out here ain't trying to buy nothing. So I don't even think that'll be a real holiday.
It's not gonna be a holiday.
I just feel like we'd have gave that one back. Like, you know.
You can have that.
I'm trying to think of it like,
We're good.
We wouldn't even have.
I don't think we have it.
We wouldn't even have that one.
Everybody, I love you 364 days. Why we gotta?
Right.
I'm gonna combine the last two. Labor Day and Memorial Day.
So Labor Day, if we appropriated it, one would be an homage to the ancestors. We would make that day about the labor that built the backs of this economy. Right now, we talk about
Woke Day.
We talk about Labor Day and it's about the workforce and you know what I'm saying, all of that. We would have talked about the workforce that America got for free. Right. And how, you know, and that's what we would be celebrating on Labor Day.
So it'd be Woke Day.
And it'd be something you could say every time. Speaking of Labor Day, let me tell you about there'd be that one day where you could say that over and over and over again and can't nobody tell you nothing.
Absolutely. Instead of talking about unions, it would be about the ancestors and the free labor that you got.
We talk about that real labor. We talk about the reason y'all still hate Haiti.
Right.
Right. We'll talk about the reason y'all still hate the country that fought back. Like how y'all still trying to bankrupt them because you mad. That's what it would look like.
I just feel like it'll be a huge Pan-African Day. I just feel like it'll be so much RBG. We probably have Marcus Garvey everywhere. It'll be a whole bunch of cookouts of stuff that don't go together. That's just what I feel like with those. Crystal said that Valentine's Day would be Black Love Amplified Day.
I'm here for that.
I think it's cute. I just don't think we'll celebrate it. I think, you know what? We will celebrate it just so we can have a day off.
No, that's fair.
That's what
That'll be the only reason why we celebrate it, though. Mm-hmm. So that concludes Black folks appropriating.
You said Memorial Day. You said
Memorial Day.
But even so, I'm saying that concludes Black folks appropriating for life, not just in this segment. this it.
Man, Memorial Day, we gonna turn up for the Tuskegee Airmen that really don't get no shine time. That's what we gonna do Memorial Day. We're gonna celebrate our Tuskegee Airmen and show out.
I feel like if the rest of these holidays had preceded them, we wouldn't have fought in wars. We had no business in no way. So I don't even know if Memorial Day would have made it because we wouldn't have been in that war. We'd have been like, no. If our Thanksgiving had started the way we said, we wouldn't even been in that war. It would have been no need to.
We would have went to the meeting. We would have been like,
y'all finna fight.
What y'all had on now?
Y'all finna fight them for what? We'll be back. Like, let us know.
Over here.
Or even better, let us know if they come to this country. Y'all going over there? Okay. Well, just let us know if they come back. Now, if they come back, we'll help you protect this one. But if they're not coming back, y'all have fun with that.
We good.
Yeah, we good.
We good.
So next week's show will be about
Mixed conversations. How do we talk to each other in public? How do we have the conversations Grandma told us to only keep in the house in public? That's the best way to sum that up to you. So y'all come back next week.
and we're gonna talk. We gotta do the Black business shout outs.
Absolutely.
I am shouting out Little Rock designer who is now in Los Angeles, Ngozika Okiki, who you can look at her Facebook page at that name, like Ingo, right? So Ngozika Okiki. She is the bomb designer. She created a dress that I use for an important day in my life. And she designed it from a dream I told her I had about the dress. And the dress looks exactly like it did in my dream. So shout out to Ngozika Okiki.
Right, and I am shouting out designer Corto. She is from Little Rock. You've seen her fashions in New York Fashion Weeks. You've seen her on Project Runway. So shout out to Corto. Hit up her IG. Take a look at her design. She's dope.
And I would like to shout out the diversity booth. Get your diversity needs met with the diversity booth team.
Yes.
You can find it at diversitybooth.inc.com.
Yes. I also want everybody can find us. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and on all major podcast platforms Apple, Spotify, you name it. If you're looking for us, you will find that business and that bullshit.
Absolutely.
So I think it's time for us to get our break.
I think it is too.
They're probably looking for us at this point.
Yeah.
I guess. Let's go on and go out. So thank you for joining us today for Business and Bullshit, which is 3 women,
3 perspectives,
1 podcast.
Yeah.
Good night. Bye, coworkers.
Don't forget about me. Oh, say my name. 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 Say, don't forget my name. Don't let my struggle be in vain. If I should die tomorrow,